Hello, welcome to another edition of the MakeCode Get Advanced stream. I am Richard at Richard on the MakeCode forum. It's just me today. I don't think anyone's here quite yet, but today we are going to be working on a game that we started, I think it was 2 weeks ago at this point, which is our Catstronauts game. A game that is very deceptively named at this point because it's not really about cats in space anymore. But for a little intro, so this game, we play as a cat who is wonderfully modified after my cat, AutoZone, who was here just a second ago, but he started biting me, so I kicked him off. We are making this into a kind of like Sokoban type game where I guess for some reason you work in a bookstore and you can go into the books that you read. So if I go into this one down here and I press A, see I teleport into this graveyard and there's a little, portal for me to go back. And I can push around these gravestones. And so the idea is this is going to be kind of like a Sokoban style puzzle game. Sokoban, for those who don't know, is a game where you push blocks around to solve puzzles. A lot of times it's like get the blocks to a specific place. But we're going to be using these as a way to just kind of make it so that you have to solve the puzzle to keep going. You'll see a lot of these puzzles in games like Pokemon, which have these as strength puzzles. So anyway, the idea is you go into the book, you have this little artifact or something that you're going to get, and you'll take it back to your bookstore, and you'll sell it. And that's what we have so far. We have three kind of environments. We have this graveyard. We have this island, which is very boring right now. And then we have this kind of like town type area with people you can talk to. Like, I don't know, this guy. This conversation is going to keep happening despite these sprites not going away. Yeah, so there's some bugs in our code. We're still working on it. So what I thought we'd do today is I want to get this game into kind of like a finished state. So it's not necessarily going to have all of the polish or be that interesting, but I want to have the whole loop done. So we're going to start with something we did last time we were working on this game, which is we made this brain appear in our graveyard. So this was going to be, the idea is you're going into Frankenstein, and this is the thing that you're picking up in Frankenstein. You're getting this brain in a jar, and you're going to bring it back. So we need to make it so that you can kind of like pick this thing up and then walk back. We created this as a sprite. So you can see this is us doing it right here. We loop over all of our locations that have this jar. We just set this to be the ground. And we create a jar that has type artifact and place it on top of this value. So let's go ahead and write some code to pick this thing up once we overlap with it. So I'm going to make a variable, which is going to be called holding artifact. And you know what? I'm going to name this maybe a little bit different. This is going to be artifact we are holding, because this is actually going to point to a sprite. So let's create an overlap event for between us and this artifact. So I'm going to drag out an overlaps block, change this, leave this as player, change this one to be artifact. And when this happens, I'm going to set artifact we are holding to be this other sprite. And I want to make sure that I don't just keep running this overlap event. So I'm also going to set other sprite to be a ghost. Being a ghost means it won't do any more overlaps or have to worry about walls or anything like that. All right. So while we're carrying this around, I think we're also going to make it so that it kind of is like above us, like we're carrying it on top of our head. So I'm going to go into game and go to an on-game update. And I need to put this inside an if statement because I don't want this code to run until we are actually holding something. So we're going to say if artifact we are holding, then, and we're going to put in some code to set the location of our artifact. So let's go ahead and just set its x to be the same as our player x. Let's see. Did I store the player in a variable? I think I did. Real sprite. Yes, I'm so good at naming variables. So we're just going to set the x to be the same as our x. And we're going to set the bottom of this artifact to be the top of our sprite. So it'll be on top of us. And let's go ahead and try that out. So I'm going to walk over to our graveyard, push these gravestones out of the way. There we go. And pick up this jar. And now I can carry it back with me. Nice. All right. So once we have this artifact thing, we want to take it and actually give it to the shopkeeper, who we have not, is a character we have not actually made yet. So I think I'm going to make a sprite for our shopkeeper. Let's go into sprites and make a dude. Let's see, I'm going to give him like, I don't know, like a ball cap trucker hat type thing. Do that, round this off a little bit. Gonna go ahead and give it like a red thing up front. Let's give them teal skin. This. Right. And let's see, we'll give him a shirt. And I don't know, for some reason, I'm just imagining this guy wearing overalls. So we're going to make that happen. It's possible I'm making this guy way too big. So we'll see once I put this in the game. But for now, let's go ahead and give this guy some eyeballs, some arms. And I guess he has a piece of like straw sticking out of his mouth, like he's a farmer. I don't know. No, that looks super weird. I'll figure out a way to draw that later. Let's see, give him some hands. Give him some buttons. Make this taller to like 24. I think I want this guy to be skinnier, so I'll do that in a sec. And then some boots. I want this guy to be like tall and skinny. So we're going to move this over in both directions. There we go. And I think these are coming up comically high. So we're also going to put these down a bit. Take his buttons down also. And maybe we'll make this shirt a little bit more interesting. Make it kind of striped. Yes. I now realize my arms were not symmetrical. There we go. And let's see, little touches. So on the back of the hat, we will put in like the little thing where the loop is. Should this like overhang a bit? Yeah, that's a little too much. I feel like it should though. I don't know. Well, this will do for now. So let's go to our on start and let's just put this guy down where he's supposed to be. So I'm going to just place him on top of the cash register and then move him a bit. So let's go ahead and do place on top of random. There we go. place on top of random cash register, but I don't want him to be covering up the cash register, so I'm also going to change his X. So let's go into sprites and grab a change X by, there we go. Make this my sprite 3. And we're going to change his X by -16. So move over a few tiles. Oh, not -26. Bad job there. And we're also going to change his Y by 8. All right, let's see where this puts him. Yeah, okay. Actually changes Y by less, I think. Just changes Y by like 2. Also, you cannot see his little boots, so we're gonna change these to be, well, purple might actually not work very well either. I guess they could just be black. That's fine. And maybe we change this hat color. Now I feel like I'm just making myself, except I have never worn overalls in my life. Yeah, this is fine for now. Let's see where he is. Yeah, okay. That looks like a good location. So what we're going to do is when you take your thing, you're going to take it over to this little shopkeep. And then he will take it from you and, you know, say some stuff and then put it up for sale. So we need to run an event basically where when we get close enough to this guy to hand over the thing. So to make that happen, oh, also I need to mark this as a wall, I think. It looks a little weird that I can just walk over it right now. So what I think I'm going to do is I will create an invisible sprite that I will be using as a like event trigger. So the idea is that when you come down here, there will be some invisible sprite that you can overlap with. And when you do that, we will actually be able to run whatever event to have this guy, you know, talk to us. So let's create a sprite to do that. I'm going to first rename this though. Rename variable to be shopkeep. All right, let's make a new variable now, which is going to be called shopkeep trigger. And we can just make this 8 by 8. And we'll just fill it in with pink. You need to fill it in with something, but we're going to make it invisible in just a sec. So we are going to place our shopkeep trigger on top of the cash register. And then we are going to change its Y by 16, which should change it by 2 tiles down. So it should be right here, what we want. Oh, I changed shopkeep Y. Shopkeep trigger. There you go. Cool. All right. So we're going to write some code so that when we overlap with this thing, our little cutscene is going to run, where this guy is going to talk to us and tell us, you know, good job or something. So let's start by, you know what, I'm actually also realizing now I could just turn this into something that's actually on the tile map. Well, I don't know. Yeah, you know what, I think it's better just to make it invisible. So let's go into sprites. We're going to go to the flag block right here, and we're going to set our shopkeep trigger invisible on. And we're also going to take this and make a new kind. And this kind is going to be, let's see, shopkeep trigger. It's not good. Oh, yeah, cool. Let me do that. All right. So we're going to make an overlap event real quick. When player overlaps with shopkeep trigger, we're going to go into story and we're going to run start cutscene. And inside of this cutscene, we're going to have the shopkeeper say some stuff. So first, let's make the shopkeeper say some stuff if we are not holding an artifact. So if not artifact we are holding, then we're going to go back into story, and we're going to have the shopkeep say, let's see, we don't have a name for this cat. I don't want to name it without Joey being here. So, wait. Hey, blank. What are you up to? And I think what we'll do is we'll have probably just like an array of these that we choose from. So he'll say a bunch of different things. And let's also make it so that we don't run this every single frame where this overlap is happening. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into sprites, and we are going to set our shopkeep trigger to be a ghost, and then we will set it to no longer be a ghost once this is over. So you got to make sure we do this outside of the start cutscene, because we want to make it so that this start cutscene runs in like a different thread. So it'll not run immediately. So you want to make sure you do this outside of the cutscene so that this does run immediately. But we're going to put the turn off at the end of this. So that should be fine. So let's go ahead and trigger our event. Hey, blank, what are you up to? Cute. And if I just stay here, it's just going to keep printing forever. So that's why it'll be good to have an array of different things that he says, so he's not just repeating the same thing over and over again. All right. So let's go ahead and add some text for if we are holding something. So let's go ahead. Oh, we can just do the else. And we are going to say, we need to figure out which artifact is the one we're holding. So we're going to go into images and grab the image equals and just do it that way. So let's see, picture is equal to image. And we are going to get the image from our artifact we are holding sprite. So let's see. Here we go, image. Grab the artifact we are holding, put that in there. And we're going to say is equal to image and just go into my assets and choose the brain in the jar. All right, let's do this inside the else if. Gideon says hi. Hi, Gideon. Okay, so if you're holding a brain, I was like, what's that? A brain in a jar? Well, that's got to be valuable to someone. Let's never discuss how you got this. And then he's going to take the brain from you. So we need to clear the artifact we are holding at this point. So we're going to go into our variables and grab out a set and do set artifact we are holding. And we're going to be using a block from the Sprite utils extension. So inside of Sprite utils, there is this great undefined block, which is useful for this case because we want to set this variable to be set to nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. So let's try this out. We're going to head over to our graveyard now. Nice. Oh, okay. Let's fix this first. We got to make sure the shopkeeper goes away, and also the trigger, because you can see I just triggered his text. Okay, so we can do this inside of a tile map loaded event. So let's see where we have that. Oh, here it is. Okay, so we already have if tile map does not equal inside shop. That's perfect, because in this case, we want to set our shopkeep trigger to be a ghost, and we want to set our shopkeep to be invisible. And in the else, this will be if it is the shop, we want to set these to be off. Now, one other thing we want to do is I want to, failed cast on null. Interesting. Let's see, where do I create? Oh, I need to move the set tile map to be at the bottom of this on start because I haven't created my variables yet. There you go. This should fix that. Oh, nope, still unhappy. Let's see, so I'm creating the shopkeep. I'm creating the shopkeep trigger. Then inside of the on tile map loaded, I say if tile map does not equal inside shop. That's right. Oh, now the place on top of random is failing. Okay, so let me just move these two sprite creation blocks up here. Then I'm going to set the tile map, and then I'm going to place these things. There we go. Okay, everything's happy now. And if I go over here, nice. We have no shopkeeper and no shopkeeper trigger. We come back, and it's there again, and I can talk to him. Now there's a bug in this code though, because let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to head over here, and our code turns the ghost off at the end of the text. And because I was going through here while the text was still showing, if I go over here, you can see my text is going to start playing because it got turned, ghost got turned off once the text finished. So there is a quick and easy fix for this. We're going to put in an if right here, and we're going to say if, go into tile util, we're going to grab the current tile map. We're going to say if the current tile map equals inside shop, then we're going to set this ghost to be off. And one last thing, I want the text to stop playing if it's playing. So we're going to go into story and we're going to do cancel all cutscenes. And just put this at the top of our load tile map. All right, so let's test this out real quick. I'm going to go ahead and get this guy talking. Nice. Run the cutscene, and the text stopped, and I can't trigger it again over here. If I go back, I can trigger the text again. Perfect. All right, so let's head over to our graveyard now and get our brain. Go, pick that up. Head back over and give this. What's that? A brain in a jar? Well, that's got to be valuable to someone. Let's never discuss how you got this. And now I set this to be undefined, so you can see when I move, it stays here. So I think we need to probably have this move somewhere else. So we'll do that in just a second. One other thing is I think during this cutscene, I wanted to not be able to move. No, I should be able to move. Well, let's just not worry about that right now. So the cutscene will go. Let me move this set artifact you're holding to undefined up here at the top. so that it happens immediately. All right, cool. It's good enough for now. So what do we want to do next? We need to move this artifact somewhere. So, oh, I guess I do have to put this down here at the bottom if I want to move it. We're going to take this artifact we are holding and set its position. We're going to do just a place on top of random and choose one of these countertops. So place on top of random. And just on one of the countertops. Okay. So let's give that a shot. Head over here, grab the brain, warp back, talk to the shopkeeper. What's that? A brain in a jar? Well, that's got to be valuable to someone. Let's never discuss how you got this. And there goes the brain. It's now over there on our shelf, ready to be sold to some lucky and possibly morally questionable buyer. All right. So now that we've got that, we've got kind of the core game loop in a much better state. So let's go ahead and keep track of how many of these artifacts we have got. So I'm going to make a variable which is going to be called artifacts retrieved. And we are going to change artifacts retrieved by 1 whenever we do this thing. And also I can take this code and just put it down here at the bottom. I'm going to put it inside of, because this is going to run for all of the different artifacts. I'm actually going to put this inside of an if. And I'm going to do another check to see if this is defined. And if it is defined, then we will go ahead and put this right here. All right. So we're going to do something if we have retrieved all 3 artifacts. So we're going to do if artifact retrieved equals 3, then I think for now we're just going to do game over win. All right, cool. We now have the core loop of our game. So I'm going to refresh because my simulator just got slow. We go out, we pick up some artifacts, we bring them back. Once we have 3, we win the game. We only have 1 artifact in our game right now, so it's going to be kind of tough. But we can go ahead and start doing some of the other things. So I'm going to wait for Joey to be back for us to actually decide what the other artifacts are. But for now, let's go ahead and do some level design. Because right now these levels are pretty boring and don't actually require that much effort. So let's start with this beach. We're going to go ahead and make this beach a bit more interesting. So let's change this to be we'll make it like, 40. And we're just going to kind of like taper this off so that we have a lot of space to work with over here and fill in our edges so that it looks nice. There you go. And over here is where our actual puzzle is going to be. And we need something that we can push around on this beach. So I think I'm going to make a, I don't know, a coconut. Or just a rock, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. Gotta make it less wide so it's not overlapping like it is right now. There we go. All right. And I've never really designed Sokomon puzzles before, so let's go ahead and make one this time that is not just trivial like the graveyard one is. So let's grab our rock, and we're going to also make an artifact. So I don't know what the artifact is going to be, so right now I'm just going to make an X because X marks the spot. That's the spot we want to get to. So we're going to start out by making some walls around here that cannot be moved. So to make that happen, what we do is we just go ahead and make a bunch of these blocks that are too deep, because once these things are too deep, they cannot be moved. None of these blocks can be moved no matter what you do. Now, let's just place them randomly and see how solvable it is, I guess. All right, is this solvable? Let's see. Okay, I'm coming in here. I would push this down first, push this over. Let's see. Oh no, all I actually have to do for this is push this up, this over, and forget that's it. Okay, let's just play around with this for a sec. Wait for our game to reload. Yep. And let's head over to our beach. Oh, right. We actually need to put in the code for these things to be pushed around. So we just have a few places in our code that we need to duplicate and put in. We're going to put in this 4-element value of rock locations. So these ones right here. And we need to go into our on-hit wall code, which is, let's see if we can find it. Here we go. We have this do push function, and we're going to call do push, but we're going to pass in our rock and also the sand tile. And that should do it. Let's head back to our beach. All right, so I'm over here. And I think to get over here, hi, Untitled Arduino. All we need to do is push this up and then push this over, and there we go. And it turns out to be an easy puzzle that looks more complicated than it is. Let's try and make something a little bit more difficult. Okay. I don't know. All right, is this solvable? Let's see. So push up, over, up, over. Nope, we've lost. Okay, push over, up, over. Nope. Okay, push over, up, over, up, over, and okay, yeah. So this is at least solvable. And we'll make it look, I guess, nicer like this. All right, let's go back to the beach. Try this again. I'm gonna head on over. And let's see, I think I start here, up, over. Nope, I've lost. All right, this brings us to a good point, which is it's very possible in these types of games to get to a point where you cannot continue. All right, so I've already made this puzzle unsolvable because there are now blocks that I cannot push because other blocks are in the way. And I'm just making it worse for myself by randomly pushing things while I'm talking. So to make this solvable, what we need to do is we need to have some sort of reset. And I think the easiest, safest way to do that in the game is just to make it so that when you leave the map and come back, you can't, well, everything just gets put back where it was. So let's try that. Let me think about how we're going to do that exactly. I'm trying to like get it to where you cannot push any blocks anymore while I'm just randomly thinking. There we go. Okay. All right. No more blocks can be pushed. Okay. So we want to store where the original tile for this is. And that's a little bit tough just because we have been kind of using the tile map to contain some of this state for when we're pushing things around. So I guess what we need to do is maybe we can let's see, Untitled Arduino says, when loading tile maps, can't you just copy it first before using it? Or does connect by door doesn't do that? So yes, connect by door doesn't do that, but that's still a good idea. So what we'll do, thank you for that great idea, Untitled Arduino. We are going to go to where we do our tile map loading code. So let's go to our, we have an overlap of, oh no, it's inside of the on A button push now. I forgot I refactored that code. Right here. So we're doing this load tile map connected by door 3 business. So we're going to kind of make this code a little bit different. We're going to go into our tile util, and we're going to do load get tile map connected to. Oh, and we're going to just pass in current tile map by door 1. We're going to do clone like that. And we're going to do set current tile map to. There we go. Like this. And set this to be door 3. Set this to be door 1. Set this to be door 2. And get rid of that. Oh, but this will break the... No, this is fine, actually. Okay, so let's head over to the beach now. Go ahead and press A. We're over in the beach. Let's make some pushes. So push, 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 push. There we go. And we'll go ahead back to the inside shop. Now head back to the beach. And look at that. Our beach is pristine once again. This weird, weird beach. Okay, so let's try to actually solve this now. Yeah, I did it right this time. And I push this over, and there we go. X marks the spot. All right, cool. So the question is, how do we like notify the user? It would be nice if there was some way we could say, go back to reset, warp out and come back again. How could we do that, I wonder? Is there any way we can detect that this is no longer solvable without writing some crazy code? I don't think there is. No, I don't think so. All right, we're just going to ignore this problem. Okay, so we've got the main loop of our game now done. We have all of the code to place the artifacts, grab them, turn them in, and actually have the game, win once you've gotten enough of them. So I think all that's really left to do is the fun part, which is actually deciding what artifacts we're going to put into the game, and actually, coding up all the dialogue and stuff. So I'm going to wait for Joey to be back around for that. he couldn't make it today, unfortunately. So we're just going to kind of wrap up now. Or let's see, is there anything else fun I can do for the rest of this stream? I guess I can work on some tile maps. So let's head over to our tile map and make this place look a little bit nicer. So I'm going to make a palm tree. Huey Phoenix says, hi. Hi, Huey Phoenix. This is not going to look good at all. I'm going to have to do a lot of editing here. Okay, up a bit. There we go. Another tile. Up a few pixels. And this is kind of a sad looking palm tree, I have to say, but we'll go with it for now. And let's start doing the palm leaves. So about some directions, and we're going to make a few tiles now. So let me do a new tile. Oh, nope. Hello. And just have the leaf coming down like that. That right there. And make it match up. Oh, whoops. Yeah, still kind of off. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Cool, all right, let's do this one now. Okay. We're really getting to the point where I should not be doing this as separate tiles. From the beginning, I should have just made a sprite and then placed it. Yeah, maybe I'll switch to that. This was a dumb idea. It's hard to split such a big sprite across different tiles when you can't look at them all at the same time. So let's go ahead and just delete these guys. And instead, we're just going to make this be a little palm tree sprite. There we go. And we're now going to create just a sprite for this. So let's go into here and make it pretty big, 32 by 32 maybe. And draw something that looks kind of like a palm tree. That's bad. My eyedropper tool is not working. All right, there we go. And we'll give it a coconut. There you go. That is an extremely rough palm tree. So let's go to our on time uploaded. We're going to create a sprite of kind decoration. And let's do a for of loop. We're going to do all tiles of that image, grab all locations. So let's do this little guy. Create this right here. And do a place on top of, and then we're going to have to nudge it to get it in the right place. So let's do place on top of right here. That in right there. And let's go over to our map. And yeah, there we go. This is definitely a rough palm tree. Ugh. But it'll work. So we're going to do that, and we're just going to get rid of this tile. So let's go to our tile util. And we will just do replace all down here at the bottom. Replace all this with this. And now we can put in a few more if we want. All right, well, that one ended up in the water, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and move this one, the tile like that. This one is on the exact same plane as this one, so we're going to move it down a tile. And heck, we'll put one down here too. Cool, yeah, all right, maybe I will make this tree look not terrible later. For now, though, I think I'm just going to call it early today, since it's just me. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be working on this for probably one more stream, and then we'll kind of come up with a new game to work on. But for now, thank you for tuning in. Also, I'm planning on Friday again to do more extension streaming, so I hope you guys like that, because we're going to be working on some more of those. And, you know, it also means it'll be good because we'll have some more extensions floating around. I haven't decided what I'm going to work on quite yet. I know that there was some very reasonable feedback to the one that I posted on the forum, so I might implement that feedback real quick, but that's not an entire stream, so maybe I'll do that one, you know, separately. In the meantime, I have been Richard at Richard on the MakeCode forum, and I will see you guys Wednesday. Bye.